Hello, and thank you for joining Paper Crafting with Tracy. Today I'm going to show you how to make this Z-Bold card using the Two Tone Floral stamp set. And we're going to be using the colors Fresh Freesia and one of our new colors, Bubble Bath. So we'll start off with our 2 pieces of white cardstock, and you'll see the measurements come up on your screen. And I'm just going to get a scrap piece of background for doing the off stamping here. Oops. And get my stamps. So you can do this one of two ways with the two-tone floral. You can start with your light and add the dark, or you can start with the dark and add the light. The only thing that I suggest, if you're going to start with the dark, because the dark doesn't always go to the top or all the way to the edges, is just keep in mind of keeping your room around it. So I always start with the light. Okay, so we'll get the stamp set here. Okay. And this bubblegum bath is quite light. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start with one in the center. And I know it doesn't look like much right now. It's when you add the second. I don't think I got that fully. There we go. There we go. And then I'm going to stamp one here in the center as well. I think I got that. This one's hard to see on this stamp set. And I'm going to place it right about there, so I've got room for my sentiment. Okay, now I'm going to take the Fresh Freesia, and you'll see that this one here doesn't look like much, but it will add all the accents. So I'll just take the other stamp off. And how I line it up is, let me put some ink on here so you can see. If you can see on the stamp set, there's this little V there, and that matches up with the V right there. So we're just going to line it up, and it doesn't have to be perfect. There we go. And you can see that just makes the flower pop. So we'll continue that with these. This is a quick card, but a beautiful card. There we go. Now, actually, I'm going to still use the Fresh Freesia. We'll just put that aside for a moment to do my sentiment. And for the sentiments, because the two-tone Flora doesn't come with sentiments, I use the Something Fancy stamp set here. So last time I did with Deepest Sympathy. I think this time I might use a thank you. So we'll just get the thank you stamp out. I found the bubblegum bath wasn't just dark enough for a sentiment. Okay, and now it's just assembly. Okay, so what I'm going to start with is I'm going to mount these, and I'm using Fresh Freesia cardstock as our background. So I'll just get our tape runner here. And then, oops, that one obviously I cut too small. It's a very thin border, but actually I think I've got this white actually too much. So we'll just take our cutter here, which is a little bit of a pain when you've already inked it, but we'll make it work. And I'm just going to take a sliver off the sides. See if that makes that work now. That does. There we go. And then I'm going to mount that on a piece of black cardstock as well. So hopefully I cut that one right. And I did. Now this card here was one of the ones that I offered on our paper crafting cruise to Alaska. So this was one of the classes that I offered. I will be posting all the pictures of those on the Facebook page. And we will be having another cruise in the future. We're just waiting for some more dates to come out. But it was a fabulous success, and we will be doing more. There we go. And now I'll get my black cardstock here. And what you do with the black is you score it down the middle as you normally would at the 4.25. And then he scored again at the 2 1/8. And that's where, oops, just grabbing both there, you would fold it back on itself. Oh, and so I took also a piece of white cardstock, and I just ran it through the Payne weave embossing folder. And I did that ahead of time, so I will mount that, and I'm just going to mount that on some cardstock, which you can see I was off on one of my measurements there. Obviously it was the white. So let me see if I have another one here that is the proper length, but it is. So apparently I was half asleep when doing these. So I will put this one together without the cane weave, but you can see what it was with, just so that I'm not delaying this for you. I think that was part of the problem when I was making 25 kits. So I guess some of my measurement was off. When I was trying to put one aside for me for doing the video. There we go. And mount that on this side. Okay, so we're like so. And now what's important with this one is you're only going to put tape down the one side. So just keep that in mind when you're running your tape runner down. Let's do a couple strips there. And then I fold it and then get it in place where I want it. About like so. And there you have it. 2 cards here using the Two Tone Floral stamp set. So I hope you've enjoyed this edition of Paper Crafting with Tracey. Please subscribe to our channel, and happy stamping!